everyone. Welcome to our first YouTube story time. My name is Susie with 107 Livin. I love books because if you find a great one, it has the power to change your life. I wonder how many books you have read that have changed some significant part of your life. Today, I will be reading an excerpt from one of my favorite books by Dr. Sears, Dr. Pooh. Dr. Pooh is an easy to read but highly informative book about poop. When was the last time you thought about your colon or of your colon's health? It's not exactly dinner time conversation, is it? I hope that by sharing a part of this book with you today, you will start to think about your colon and your colon health and even preventing colon cancer. Did you know that the early signs of colon cancer are change in your bathroom habits? Things like constipation, diarrhea, or even abdominal cramps. Colon cancer is the second most common cause of cancer deaths in the US. And don't think that this is a disease just for older people. We don't just turn 50 and all of a sudden get colon cancer. It is something that develops over years, over decades of tobacco use, of heavy alcohol consumption, and poor nutrition and lifestyle choices. Dr. Sears actually beat colon cancer in his 60s by taking a holistic approach to his treatment and making radical changes to his diet and exercise. Now that I've shared the bad news, let's read some good news straight out of Dr. Pooh. I wish I had time to read the entire book to you today, but we don't have that much time, so I will share just a small portion regarding our microbiome. Have you heard of the term microbiome before? I hope that in today's reading, you will learn more about the microbiome or begin to learn more about it. We're going to start on page 23, and it says more about your microbiome. Your microbiome resides in the lining of your gut, in the microvilli, which resembles a shag carpet. It's a beautiful design because not only does it increase the surface area by the many foldings, but all these nooks and crannies form nice little homes and neighborhoods for the resident bacteria to form their own habitat. That's right, you have bacteria in your gut. Picture having your own bug town inside your gut. Let's go to this illustration to take a look. So these pink parts here, this is the microvilli illustrated, and that's why he's called it a shag carpet. If you've ever stepped on a shag carpet, you know, or even like a shaggy dog. And then these are some of our stomach bugs illustrated to look like cute little monsters. Microbiome digests leftovers. You've heard eat more fiber, but you're not sure why. The two main reasons are because fiber is the favorite food for your microbiome, and the more fiber-rich your diet, the more comfortable you poop. It's interesting that fiber is a food you can't digest, but your microbiome can. While you may have thought that stringy, chewy stuff on the celery can be unpleasant to eat, it's actually the very food that your gut bacteria thrive on. Think of your microbiome saying, I'll feed on your leftovers in return for you feeding me. I'll use these leftovers to fertilize your growing gut garden. You may hear the term soluble and insoluble fibers. You need both. A soluble fiber dissolves in water and is called a prebiotic, which means it readily ferments into nutrients to feed our friendly flora, which is what the microbiome used to be called. And it helps absorb water into your poop. Insoluble fiber is metabolically inert and it does not ferment, but it adds bulk to the poop, making bowel movements or BMs easier to pass. Yes, sign me up, right? Good sources of insoluble fiber are grains, nuts, seeds, and the skin of fruits. Think fiber feeds flora. Flora is a term we use for microorganisms, the microbiome in the gut lining, because it's like a flower garden. With the modern day diet, it's almost impossible for us to get our daily requirement of soluble fiber, especially for children. We must be sure to get the full amount, and often this means fortifying with the right form of soluble fiber. Good sources of soluble fiber are apples, pears, oats, like steel-cut oatmeal, barley, and beans. Feel good like a gut should. The term indigestion is a catch-all term for something uncomfortable happening in the gut. Most of the patients I see for pains in the gut have a messed up microbiome. I'll say it again, your poop is a window into your health. When you eat the right fiber-rich foods, your gut bugs can digest the leftover food from the small intestine better. Your microbiome says, you eat what is good for you, and we'll live off the good for us leftovers, and we'll all feel good. I'm going to stop reading there, but I highly suggest this book for you. It is available on Amazon for purchase, and I believe you can also check out a PDF version if you simply Google Poop Book by Dr. Sears. I hope you enjoyed our first story time on 107 Livin. And I hope that you are getting encouraged and inspired to start thinking about your colon. Colon health is a very serious matter, but we can have fun keeping our colons healthy by eating delicious whole foods.